Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen face off in a rematch in the divisional round on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern Time. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TCB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. And yesterday's games happened. The Broncos lost to the Bills in kind of a beatdown. And now the Ravens on CBS will take on the Buffalo Bills. And I just wanted to talk about this game, kind of preview it a little bit. Obviously, I don't want to get into too much detail, but I just want to say that this is the best possible game that the NFL could have gotten. Right now, there may be better teams than the Ravens and the Bills. I'm not trying to count out either of the teams. They're both Super Bowl contenders. But when you're looking at this entire season, the narratives that have been going on, you'll look at last season, their entire career drafted in the same draft class, Lamar and Josh Allen. They played each other in the playoffs once. And that one was also on prime time. But now these are the two leaders for the MVP. So much debate, so much national media discussion. I'm not a believer that the NFL is scripted. I'm not a believer in the script. But if people are, like, the script writers, like, that's what they wanted, right? That's the best possible matchup. The MVP against, the potential MVP this year, right? Lamar Jackson won it last year, and people are debating whether or not Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. That's been the debate the whole time. Whether the debate revolves around Josh Allen has more team or has less team help, so he's the MVP, or Lamar Jackson has better statistics, that's why he's the MVP. There's so many different debates going around, talking about, oh, well, Lamar has Derrick Henry, Josh Allen has James Cook, the wide receiver help, everything. The national media, the last 6 weeks, the biggest talking point has been Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, and they finally get to see it, right? So many people forgot, or it felt like they forgot about what happened the first time they played when the Ravens won 35-10 and Derrick Henry ran all over the Buffalo Bills. But these are two different teams, right? I want to say that, this isn't a game I'm expecting, oh, the Ravens can just do what they did the first time. These are two very different teams. One, the Ravens are very different. We don't know if they're going to have Zay Flowers. That's a big difference. We don't know, how we're going to play defensively, because that was like the one game early in the year where, like, the defense worked. Right? The defense that we were playing in that game was very different, right? We were having Kyle Hamilton close to the line of scrimmage. We had Marcus Williams playing. We weren't necessarily playing like too high. Like, we were getting kind of aggressive in our defensive coverages, but it was working. It did not work for most of the regular season. We ended up switching our defense. We're playing a lot of cover 4. We're playing a lot of cover 2, too high. Kyle Hamilton over the top. Marcus Williams isn't even playing. So, like, this Ravens defense is drastically different from the defense that shut down the Buffalo Bills. So that's already different. Then Buffalo Bills, like, they had a lot of injured players. They're missing, like, almost all of their linebackers, a lot of size on the, in their front seven, which helped the Ravens in their rushing game. So, that's just like massive differences. It's been a long time since they played. We played that game in Baltimore. Now it's played in Buffalo. And I expect it to be a very close competitive game. The other aspect is these teams are more likely than not. I don't want to say it's a 0% chance that the Texans win, but this is the game to see who makes the AFC Championship, who gets to play Patrick Mahomes. So when you're looking at it from the perspective of, most people believe Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Most people would also agree that the second and third best quarterback in the NFL, whichever order you put it in, is Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. They are now playing each other for the chance to play against Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. This is the first time, Lamar Jackson has really had a, major test at quarterback in the playoffs in the divisional round. You look at who he's played in the past, right? Obviously, like, we can talk about that Bills game back in 2020, but remember, Lamar Jackson did get hurt in that game. He got a concussion. He left. The Ravens lost 17-3. So, like, that game, I don't even really consider that in my memory. I think about, like, right, he's played the Titans. He played the Texans last year. That's a rookie quarterback. Now all of a sudden you're facing, no, this is like Josh Allen, and Josh Allen wasn't, the second best quarterback in the NFL when they played in 2020. a lot of people will make the case. I would disagree. I think Lamar is better, but a lot of people will make the case Josh Allen's the second best quarterback in the world. Lamar Jackson is now facing him in the divisional round to have a chance to probably play Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. That's a massive game. And I know Lamar Jackson won't point to that matchup, right? He's a big believer, and I'm a big believer in it as well. But just it's team against team. It's not player against player. But the national media is going to spin the rivalry every way they can, right? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That is what this game is. It's not Derrick Henry versus James Cook. It's not Ravens versus Bills. This is the two-time MVP, potentially three-time against the potentially one-time MVP. These are the two MVP favorites going against each other. It's the best possible matchup that you could find, and it's going to be in a great atmosphere. A lot of people are a little bit frustrated, myself included. I didn't want this game on CBS. I'm not a fan of Tony Romo's announcing. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I think Tony Romo each year has gotten worse, which is weird because he was so good when he first started. But it feels like CBS told him, like, chill out on the analysis. Like, overall, like, when it first started, right, he was calling out the plays. He was giving, like, really in-depth analysis, and it was great. And it was like, wow, like, Tony Romo, I wasn't expecting you to be this good, but you're fantastic. And then all of a sudden, it was like he stopped kind of calling out the plays, and it just became him saying, oh my God, Jim. Oh my gosh, Jim, look at that. This guy's great. Like, that's really all the analysis that we get. And I love Jim Nance. He does a great job, but a little bit unfortunate for me there. I would have much preferred to have, I loved Herb Street talk. Like, I don't love Al Michaels anymore. Al Michaels is like the greatest commentator of all time, but Al Michaels isn't prime Al Michaels anymore. He doesn't care anymore. But Herb Street was fantastic with the analysis. I think that NBC does a very good job with Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. I know a lot of people get frustrated with Collinsworth. He can be a little annoying sometimes, but I feel like Tirico is he brings the energy, and Chris Collinsworth will also bring a lot of energy when great plays happen. He'll hype them up almost too much, but he does a good job. And then, the benefit of, I think it's Burkhart and Brady. I think that's the duo. Brady's not great yet. I think he will be very good. He's still getting used to the mic. But one thing is the analysis is very good. Like, he will really go in depth, even though he's not, again, very comfortable in front of the mic. He will still go in detail and talk real football. And Burkhart is fantastic on the call. So unfortunately, I think this is the worst. And honestly, like Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, as much as people clown on them, Joe Buck's gotten better, and they're not biased. Like, it's frustrating watching them, announce the Cowboys games because they're both clearly rooting for the Cowboys. But when it's not the Cowboys, they're both very good. So, again, a little bit disappointed in the CBS matchup because Tony Romo is just going to be. I feel like the best way to describe Tony Romo's announcing style is ogling. Like, that's all he does is he ogles. Like, both quarterbacks, like, he'll hype up Lamar Jackson, he'll hype up Josh Allen, but I feel like he will just, like, not really say very much. He'll be like, he's just so good, Jim. I just can't believe these plays that he makes. Like, let's get some more detail. But, this was just kind of me saying I think this is going to be the game of the year. But let me know in the comment section down below. Are you excited for this game? Do you wish the Ravens were playing somebody else? Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you again tomorrow.